We started with 35 students and we ended with 3.
With 3.
And I also know that the other 2 people didn't pass. And how do I know they didn't pass? Because she would show me their grades when I went to the office hours, which may or may not be illegal. I don't know if the people who are watching this video have been to college yet, but you will come across your fair share of interesting professors. You have your good professors, you have your bad professors, and you have your maybe professors. I feel like most of the professors really fall in the maybe category because, they're not stellar, but they're not horrible either. The good professors make your life really easy because I feel like they want you to succeed. They do whatever it takes, not only for you to get a good grade in the class, but for you to actually understand the material. But when you come across a bad professor, oh boy. See, the thing about bad professors in college is that they are astronomically worse than bad teachers you'll get at high school. Because I feel like even the worst teacher in high school still did whatever they could for their class to actually pass. Even if that meant just making up grades for people and just literally changing people's grades in the grade book. But bad college professors literally just let you fail. If you fail a college class, it could cost you money, could cost you scholarships, could cost you time and effort. A lot of bad things go with failing college classes. But do they care about that? No, not at all. They're going to tell you to get with it or get going. Which to a certain extent, again, I can see college being like that because once you go to college, you are grown. But I do think if I'm paying you to teach me, that you should probably help me on that route to get where I'm trying to go. Anyway, this story time is going to be about the worst professor that I've ever had. The class that this professor was teaching me was chemistry. I had to go to a college that was not my main campus to take this class. And the reason I had to do that is because between my first semester of sophomore year and my second semester, I switched from respiratory therapy to pre-med. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I really feel like my journey on switching majors would be probably a good video too. So y'all let me know if y'all want to see that. Remember to comment, and subscribe. Anyway, after I switched to pre-med, I had a different kind of schedule of the classes. For example, general chemistry. General chemistry is usually a class you take your freshman year. It's usually one of the first classes you take to kind of roll you into the college life and difficulty of college classes. Even as a junior now, I'm still kind of taking classes at different times than I usually would. I'm taking general bio right now, which is also usually a freshman class. I think I'm actually the only junior in the class. Considering I had to take this class at a different university, I went to rate my professor to see if the professors there were pretty good. Now, to my surprise, they had a professor who was really, really highly rated. So naturally, that's the person I wanted to take. I think he had an A or A plus rating on the thing. So that's usually pretty rare. Even teachers who have been really good to me usually only get C's or B's. But all hope is not lost because I see that there is another chemistry class offered. But immediately I'm kind of starting to see red flags. So I go on the registration site of the other college to try and get in his class, and guess what? He's full. So this other class was full, but this other class still had 70% of the seats open. In college, if there are 2 professors who offer the same course and literally one of the professors immediately fills up and the other one stay empty for a while, that usually means one professor is way better than the other one. But sometimes it's not always like that. Sometimes people just prefer a professor because their teaching style is a little better for the majority of people. But that doesn't necessarily mean the other teacher is bad. But before I registered for the class, I went back to rate my professor to see what I saw, and Jesus Christ, they were bad. I think she might have actually had an F on rate my professor. And I'm not sure if you ever seen those videos on Instagram where it's once you buy a speaker, then look at reviews for it. Her reviews were literally like that. Her reviews were literally this class ruined my life. This class made me drop out of college. So obviously I'm immediately scared, but I don't have any other option. I had to take this lady or I had to stay in college for a whole nother year. And I'm not doing that. So, of course, I chose to enroll in her class. To try to kind of prepare for a class, I would like watch like hours of videos on YouTube of like general chemistry classes before I even started so I could try and have an ups on that. And did it help? No. But I tried. Immediately on the first recording that we had, I could already see red flags. This class is an online class, but the college was local to me. I chose to take the online class because I work and have a list of other responsibilities that I had to take care of. I noticed as soon as the professor started talking that they were not American. Now, at this point in my college career, I had pretty much had all like American English first language speaking people. But I had heard horror stories on how hard it is to understand professors who are like from different parts of the world. And boy, were they right. I literally, from the first recording, and keep in mind, all they were doing in the first recording was just explaining who they were, where they were from, and I couldn't even understand that. To this day, I can't even understand what this lady's name is. I know how it's written and I know how it's spelled, but can I say it? Absolutely not. Luckily, I was able to identify that was going to be a problem very early on, and so did a lot of other people, because people literally immediately started dropping the first week. People were already dropping like wildfire. We had made like a group chat like the first week of class just so everybody could like, kind of be connected and be a helping hand to one another. But it was the complete opposite. Everybody was encouraging everybody to like drop out of the class, just give up. How many bad stories that I heard about it. I kid you not, probably in the first week. Keep in mind, this class is only 35 people. I think like 10 people dropped. Honestly, in my opinion, even if the teacher was pretty bad, I think I would wait around a little longer than like a week. Anyway, as this class goes on and on, it's clear and evident that the teacher doesn't teach very well. She doesn't explain things very well. And that's probably the problem that most of these people on Rate My Professors and just actual people that I talked to the class had in her class. Fast forward to the first exam. Of course, I have been studying really hard because ultimately, I understood absolutely nothing she was saying in class. I had to supplement a lot of work. I had to go to YouTube. I had to talk to people who already had taken the class to kind of help me with understanding what I needed to know for the first exam. So honestly, I thought I was big ready, but I got on that first exam and that mud rocked my world. Now, I'm not gonna cap, I did terrible. I ended up getting I think a 70, but for the amount of studying that I did, a 70 was horrendous, especially if I'm having A's in all my other classes, and a lot of these classes are higher level than this course. Then I really knew that there was a problem really with this course. Upon talking to my mom and talking to her about what do they think I should do to kind of try and increase my grades, my mom advised me to go to her office hours. I did for that first Tuesday, and I continued to do for the rest of the semester. I would like to say that these office hours were very productive and they helped me a lot with the class. But honestly, I feel like I left office hours feeling even more confused. I don't know if she was just bad at explaining stuff, or she was just that bad at just getting you to understand what she was talking about. But I kid you not, I would literally go in with certain topics feeling like I understood what was going on, and then I would leave literally more confused. But the reason I had to keep going to these office hours is because sometimes she would literally give me bonus points just for showing up. So best believe if she's offering bonus points, especially in the state of this class, I'm gonna be there. I did okay through a lot of the tests throughout the semester. Not because of her at all, because of my own drive to understand things, really understanding her test patterns, which was something I really had to kind of go and do on my own. But again, like I said, ultimately was able to get through. So there was one other really concerning thing that happened during these office hours. When I had talked to her, and keep in mind, like I told you, I took the online class, and she told me that I could come in person to take the test. And immediately I was like, well, I don't really see much of a benefit to taking the test in person. Isn't it the same test online? And she said, no, I always make the test online harder. Why would you make the test that's online harder? First of all, we can't ask you questions, not in the same way as being in a regular class where you just raise your hand about every topic. How is the class even fair if there's literally two versions of the test when it's just a like mainly concept-based class. Now, obviously, there are some math elements, and I think honestly, strictly math tests, if everybody gets a different test, then it could be even. All you had to do in math tests to make the test like different but even is just changing numbers. I don't think it changes the difficulty that much if a number says 3 versus saying 4. But in concept stuff, there's no way you can change the questions without one question being harder than the other one. And then again, I really feel like it's really weird to make the online test harder, especially when I feel like most of the people who take online have a lot of responsibilities, whether that be work, children, anything. I think the numbers at the end of the class would made it very apparent that she's a bad teacher as well, because to put it in perspective, we started with 35 students and we ended with 3. And I also know that the other 2 people didn't pass. And how do I know they didn't pass? Because she was showing me their grades when I went to the office hours, which may or may not be illegal, which is why I've elected not to say the professor's name or where they work at. But the main reason I wanted to talk about this was to tell you that no matter how bad your professor is, you could honestly still find a way to succeed. Even if it requires you literally forfeiting hours and hours out of your day every week to go talk to them about the class. If you want it bad enough, if you want to get it bad enough, then that's what you can do. I ended up finishing this class with a B, which I guess is okay. I usually like to aim for A's if I can, especially through this pre-med journey, because again, I'm trying to go to med school. We all know med school is super competitive, but hey, if you get a B on the way, it's all good. If you run into a bad professor, don't think that you can't be successful in a class. Sometimes it's just gonna require a little extra work on your part, but I promise you, if you put your mind to it, you will be able to put that work in and ultimately become successful. If you like this video today, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.